Why I believe Android is better than Apple. To start off, if you disagree with any of my points, just leave. No, I'm only joking. Please leave your responses in the comments. I'll try and look at and respond to every one of them.
Number 1.
The price. In my opinion, I think Apple overcharges for their phones. I think it's just that simple. They are great quality and will last for a long time, but for the money you should be getting a lot more. An example of a great Android phone for your money is the Pocophone F1. There are many YouTube videos on this phone, I'll leave a few in the description. This phone packs a punch for the budget price you are paying. However, you must be prepared not to have the best build quality. For many people who will put a case of the phone, it is not a problem. Another great example is the Samsung Note 9. It has the great build quality of a Samsung with the S Pen and of course still room for the headphone jack. It's powerful with over 8GB of RAM for the larger versions and storage that can go to around 1TB. The phone does not have the most powerful chip in the world, which is Apple, but we'll get more onto that in part 3. It is still extremely capable of playing your favourite games such as PUBG or maybe Fortnite. And of course you can get the free Galaxy skin, while still being able to multitask like some of the iPhones which never had this feature. Ecosystem. Now this is a big one. Apple's ecosystem has to be, in my eyes, one of the worst. Many things like games, app purchases, music and much more cannot be transferable to any other type of phone. It can take hours to send over photos and apps, but you'll never get those in-app purchases again unless you buy another Apple device. However, when I switched from my Samsung A5 to my Huawei P20 Pro, I was pleasantly surprised with how easy they could be sent across. All I had to do was download the Huawei app and send across all my messages, phone calls, contacts and apps, even though it was a different mobile number. And then just signed into my Google account and bam, my purchases were back. Yes, it did not happen right away, but I did receive them all. This is completely different when it comes to Apple. There is no way to send in-app purchases to an Android phone or vice versa. This is a way for Apple users to not be able to switch to Android, but from my view, it's just a bit scummy. People shouldn't be disallowed their access to things they have bought if they decide to do something different. When you look at it like this, you can start to feel a bit imprisoned. A YouTuber by the name of Bullet Barry made a great video on this called Why I Hate Apple Reloaded. I will leave a link to it in the description. It goes over the main points I've just explained, but much more and in deeper detail. Performance. I can't lie here. Apple produces fast phones, and with the new Apple A12 chip, which is one of, if not the fastest in the world, it crushes many other phones. For the price, could it be worth it? The phone can play the newest games on star in high settings, but so can the Samsung. It is great that Apple can produce a phone with that amount of speed, but when it is not needed for the games at the moment, I don't see why it could be a main reason to drop whatever you're using now and go buy the newest iPhone. This can also be seen with the Samsung. It's going to be out soon. They've announced that they'll have 2 chips in the phone. This may not speed it up extremely, but it saves power for the main chip to do things like gaming, photo or video editing, and background tasks can be run in the smaller chip. They also have announced a folding phone. Design. Apple was once the head of design. They were the head of all smartphones. If they did something, everyone else would copy. It's quite ironic if you think about it now. However, when Apple chooses a look, they don't change it. I believe that only one style has been used over 6 generations of the phone, while other competitors developed and changed their devices to look as modern as possible. And until the Samsung S8, where the phone designs seem to change, and if you look back about 2 to 3 generations of the iPhone, they look like antiques. However, this is only my opinion. This does show you how quickly designs can change, but also that Apple sticks with what works and does not dare to change until someone else does it for them. This is seen with the iPhone X. they completely changed the design as phones like Samsung were getting more popular. This came with disagreement with the horrifying notch crisis, but it does show how Apple changed because others had seen success. They tried their own look, which they still haven't learned because otherwise they'd be seen as just copying other phones, which they already do enough of, unlike the removal of the headphone jack. Now to look at the software of Apple. iOS is very clean and simple. This can help older people and younger ones too, but from what I have ever tried, I feel like it is too simple. You are locked down with only certain settings and features you can change. I feel like only the newer iPhones are getting widgets, but still, things like fonts and themes cannot be changed. Please correct me if I'm wrong with this. This has been seen on phones from years before, same with multitasking, but not on the iPhones till very lately. This point is not the most important, but it's still always good to include to show how Apple are just playing one big game of catch up. I think that in conclusion, Apple create great phones, but at a price. The phones work well, but might not be the nicest to look at, and especially not nice to drop with the upwards of £500 charge for the back glass replacements.